Hey guys, what's up? So we're gonna be looking at decimal numbers now, which is pretty much the same thing we were doing earlier, but a little more detailed, right? So we're gonna be looking at, it says here, a decimal number consists of a whole number and a fraction, okay? Decimal numbers are similar to mixed numbers. So it's basically, we need to identify how we'd represent a mixed number as a decimal. And this is how we'd represent it. A decimal number, which is like a mixed number, is a whole number and a decimal fraction. Okay, so you have 7.1. This would be 7 and 0.1, right? 7 plus 0.1. So 7 is the whole number and 0.1 is a decimal fraction. And we can actually represent 0.1 as 1 over 10, right? So if we were to really write it as a mixed number, it would be 7 and 1 over 10. Cool? Nice. All right, guys. So we're going to go through some just the basic arithmetic operations with decimal numbers. All right. So the first one we have here is addition. Okay. And we're going to look at adding these three numbers together. All right. So let's just draw a line here. Cool. And let's put a plus because we're going to be adding. All right. And we're going to add these three numbers. I usually start with the largest number first. So I'm going to write 24.91. Then the second largest, which is 3.14. Then the smallest, which is 0.971, right? So I write it in descending order. I like to write it that way. And cool, so it's descending, right? From biggest to smallest, all right? Now, so let's work it out. You notice there's a third place here. So what I would actually do here is I would just add a 0 here because there's a placeholder for 0 here. And I'd add those zeros just so I don't get mixed up. All right. Cool. So I'm going to add these three numbers now. So 1 plus 0 gives me 1. 7 plus 4 plus 1 gives me 12, right? Then 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 2 gives me 20, so it's 2, 0. And I put the decimal point here. Don't forget the decimal point, guys. Line them up, line them up, line them up. All right, and then we're going to add 3 to 4 to 2, so that's 9, right? And then 2 added to these placeholder zeros here gives us just 2, right? So the answer, right, is 29.021. All right, awesome, guys. All right, so we're gonna move on to subtraction now. Okay, guys, we're gonna subtract some decimal numbers. Okay, guys, so we're gonna look at an example of the rest of the arithmetic operations. So the first one we're gonna look at here is subtraction. All right, guys. So, all right, so we're gonna draw a little line here, and we draw that little line there. Then we're gonna subtract these decimal numbers, and I always start with the biggest one first, right? So that's 19.71 minus 0.918. Cool. And then I always add the 0 for a placeholder, right, to make things simpler. All right, so let's subtract these now, guys. This 1 turns to 0 and leaves a 10 here. 8 minus 10 would give us 2. Then 1 minus 0, we need to take 1 from the 7. So we get 6 here, 10 here. Then 1 minus 10 will give us 9. 9 minus 6, we need to take 1 from here. So we get 8. We get 16 there. 9 minus 16 would give us 7, right? The point. Don't forget the point. Line them up, guys. Line them up. Then 0 minus 8 would just give us 8. And then 1. All right, so it's 18.792. All right, so that's the answer, guys. All right, so let's move on to multiplication. Let's leave division for last. All right, so we're gonna put this over to the right side here. Let's just put it over here. And then we're going to multiply these two numbers. We're gonna put the bigger one first, 393.42, and we're gonna multiply it by 3.49. All right, guys. So this one is a little more complicated than addition and subtraction. But the first thing you do is you're gonna multiply everything by 9. Okay, so you're gonna multiply everything here, all the numbers here, by the first number. So let's do that. All right, so we're gonna multiply everything by 9. We're gonna get 9 times 2, which is 18, right? Then 9 times 4 will be 36, plus 1 gives us 7, so that's 3, 7. Don't worry about the decimal place now. Don't worry about it, just write out the numbers. All right, guys, just follow me. Then 9 multiplied by 3 gives you 27, right? And 27 plus 3 gives you 30, so 3, 0 here. Then 9 multiplied by 9 gives you 81, plus 3 gives you 84. Then 9 times 3, which is 27 plus 8, gives you 35. All right. So we're gonna leave it like this. Leave it like this, guys. All right. Don't worry about the decimal place yet. I'll soon show you the awesome, amazing solution about where to put the decimal place. All right. So for the next one now, we're gonna multiply everything by 4, and we're gonna do this in a different line. All right, guys. We're gonna do it in the second line there. Cool. We're gonna do it down here. So, all right. But in order to multiply this 4, I'm gonna have to put a placeholder of 0 here. So that's how we do the multiplication first, guys. We have to put a placeholder of 0 here. Then we multiply everything by 4. All right. Just follow me, guys. Just follow me. So 4 times 2 gives me 8. Then 4 times 4 gives me 116, right? 4 times 3 gives me 12, plus 1 gives me 13, right? Then 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 gives me 37, so that's 3, 7. Then 4 times 3 gives me 12, plus 3 gives me 15. All right, guys? Cool. So you notice we have the placeholder here. So we need to multiply by this 3. We're going to do another row now. All right, guys? And we're going to put 2 placeholders here. All right? Just follow me, guys. That's how it goes. If you're multiplying this here, there are 2 placeholders here. You put the zeros here. Same thing with here. You put 1 placeholder here because of the 9, right? All right, so let's just do that. 3 times 2 gives us 6. 3 times 4 gives us 112, right? 3 times 3 gives us 9, plus 1 gives us 1, 0, which is 10. 3 times 9 gives us 27, plus 1 gives us 28, right? So that's 2, 8. Then 3 times 3 plus 2 gives us 9 plus 2, which is 11, right? So now, guys, we're going to add all of these 3 here, okay? We're going to add all these 3, and that should give us a solution. But how are we going to know how many decimal places are there? What we actually do is we actually look right here, and we see how many decimal places are in the two numbers that we're multiplying, and this actually gives us a number of decimal places. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, so it's actually 4 decimal places. So we know the answer is going to have 4 decimal places. That's why I said don't worry about the point. All right, so we're going to add up everything now, and we're going to get 8. 0 plus 8 gives us 8. 8 plus 7 gives us 1, 5, right? Right, so that gives us 1 and 5. Now 6 plus 6 gives us 12, plus 1 gives us 13, right? Then 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 gives us 10, okay? 7 plus 5 gives us 12, then plus 1 gives us 13, right? 13. All right, 3 and 5 make 8. 8 and 8 give us 16 plus 1 gives us 17. 1, 7. The 3 ones here give us a 3, and the 1 here remains the same. So remember, we're going to have 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll put the point here, guys. Amazing. Amazing. Awesome, guys. So the answer is actually 1373.0358. All right, guys. Awesome. All right, so in a moment, we're going to look at division now, right? And if this seems a bit confusing to you guys, don't worry. We're going to do a lot of examples like this in order for you to really get it. All right? Great. So we can move on to division now. Awesome, guys. So we're back in action here with division. And division is a little different from multiplication, right? It's a little different, okay? And let me show you what's up. So we need to divide 975.5 from 2.5, right? So how do we do this? So basically what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna move this decimal place to the right, okay? So when we're dividing with decimal numbers, we always want the number on the right to be a whole number, okay? So we need to change this to 25, all right? We want it to be a whole number. We don't want it to be just 2.5, all right? And we're gonna do the same thing with the number on the left as well, okay? We're gonna move the decimal place to the right, to just the number of decimal places that the right one is moved to. All right, let me try to explain that better. Since we're moving this to the right one time, we're gonna move this decimal place to the right one time as well. All right, so we're gonna end up getting 9755 divided by 25. All right, cool. So now we're just gonna divide this by this, and guys, this is actually the same thing. Even though we'll move the decimal point, we're actually gonna end up with the same answer. So these, if you put both of these in your calculator, you're actually gonna get the same answer, right? But we're not gonna use the calculator. We're actually just gonna divide manually, okay? All right, so let's divide this manually, right? So this is 25 divided by 9755, right? All right, and I'm going to put the quotient over here, okay? So I put Q here to say this is the quotient over here instead of up here, okay? All right, so 25 goes into 97 3 times, so I'm going to put a 3 here, and 3 times 25 is 75, right? So I'll subtract that from 97, and I'm going to get 22 here. Then I'm going to carry down this 5, and 2 goes into 225 9 times, right? So 225 minus 225 would give us 0. No, there's a 0 here, so 25 goes into 0 0 times, right? Right, so it goes into 0 0 times, so we're going to put a 0 here, and we're going to carry down this 5, right? And 25 can't go into 5 either, so we're going to need to put a decimal point here, all right? So, okay, so since we have that decimal point here now, we're going to carry down a 0, right? We're going to put a placeholder 0 here, and 25 goes into 50 2 times. Cool. All right, so the answer is 390.2, all right? And that's how you divide, guys. So when we're dividing, we need the right side to be a whole number, right? It's just much easier. And you move the decimal place how many points you need to. Let's say you had 3.47 instead. You would move it twice, right? And since you moved the decimal place twice, you'd also move this decimal place twice as well. All right. So you just move the decimal places until the number on the right side is a whole number, and then you just divide, do your normal long division here, right? Normal long division. Cool. So not too bad, guys. I think we could do some examples maybe. All right, guys, great. So let's look at these four examples now. All right. And let's see exactly what's up here. So we have addition here, multiplication, subtraction, and division, right? So we're gonna do these four examples. We're gonna add 3.6. I always use the bigger one first. To 0.58. So let's add that. We're gonna get to 0 here, 8, right? 5 and 6 gives us 11. All right. And 0, 3, and 1 gives us 4, right? And line up the points. The point should be here. All right, so let's move on to subtraction now. And then we have 15.62 minus 0.91. So we're going to subtract that 1 from the 2. We're going to get 1 here. We're going to take 1 out of that 5. And we're going to get 16. 16 minus 9 gives us 7. The point remains the same. 0 minus 4 just gives us 4. And then the answer here is 14.71, right? And the next one here, it says 79.8 multiplied by 1.4, right? So we're going to multiply these, 79.8 multiplied by 1.4. And of course, we multiply the 4 through everything here first. And 4 times 8 gives us 32. 4 times 9 gives us 36 plus 3, which is 39. 4 times 7 gives us 28 plus 3, which is 31. Okay, so we're leaving everything. We're not going to line up the point when we're doing multiplication. We'll worry about that later, right? And we know that it should be 2 decimal places, right? The 8 and the 4. Now we're going to multiply by the 1, but we need a placeholder here. 1 times 8 would give us 8, right? 1 times 9 would give us 9. And 1 times 7 here would give us 7, right? Now we need to add these two, okay? All right, guys, so, okay, so we're gonna add these now, and we should get, this should give us 2 here, right? Yeah, then 9 plus 8 would give us what? Would give us 17, 1 here, and a 7 there, right? Okay, then 9 plus 1 plus this would give us 1 here and a 1 here, right? Then 7 plus 3 plus 1 will give us 1, 1. So the answer is 101, well, 11172. And in order to find the 2 decimal places, we look at the 2 numbers after the points here, the 8 and the 4. So we're going to get 111.72 as the answer. So the answer is 111.72. All right. Okay, so let's move on now to division. All right, so the first thing, we want the number on the right to be a whole number, right? So we're going to move that over, and we're going to get 12, right, divided into, we're going to move this over as well. So we're going to get divided into 0.1428. Cool. All right, so how we divide this into this now? Kind of simple. We'll put a 0 here, right? And we'll put a point here because 12 can't go into 0, so I'll have the 0 point. Then can 12 go into 1? No. Can 12 go into 14? Yes, 12 can go into 14, right? But we need to put a 0 here still. We need to put a 0 here because the 12 can't go into the 1, right? Now 12 can go into 14 one time, so 12 times 1 will give us 12 minus 14 here. And we're going to end up with 2. And then we'll carry down this 2 here, and we're going to get 22.
And can 12 go into 22? Yes, it can go in there one time. Subtract the 12 from it, and we're gonna get 10, right? And can 12 go into 108? Yes, 12 can go into 108 9 times, right? So 108 minus 108 would give us 0, right? And we would be finished there because 12 can't go into 0. It would just be another 0 for the placeholder here. So the answer is 0.0119, right? And that's the answer. All right, so we just solved that using the long division as usual, right? Long division. I much rather the long than the short. And great. So we're finished here, guys, and we can move on to the next lecture.
All right, guys. So that's it. And I'll see you in the next lecture. And remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.